दिस इज अ बॉलीवुड स्पाई G9 यानी कि दिव्य सोलगामा और आज मेरे साथ मौजूद है हम सबके चाहिए थे नील पहले तो फर्स्ट सीजन की if we talk about the first season of Thinkistan you came in the last episode and that was entirely people did not know that this is going to be a grey character negative character or a positive one so kindly walk us through your character, how's it and how was the reaction to the first season
when they approached me, Rajneesh from Jigsaw Pictures, when he approached me and Padma Kumar Paddy sir, our director, I went in for a meeting and they said, we won't tell you on the phone, please come in for a meeting. I was rehearsing for a play in and around Ramnagar then and I said rehearsal ke baad I'll go to them and their office was just a walk away. So went in, they told me we are going to showcase the advertising world in the 90s and I was like wow, I studied advertising. I wanted to take up that career path. Uske baad they told me that William is the character, he comes in as the new boss, he comes in the middle of the story. So season 1 and season 2 were shot at the same time.
Okay.
I think later they had a creative decision of like we can divide it and make it 2 seasons, which is a genius idea. And by the time I come in season 2, my duty is just to take their MTMC ad agency to the next level. And Jessica, you probably know this, that it's a very cutthroat industry. There's a lot of money at stake. If you lose a client, you could get fired very easily. I mean, I would do the same. Because they're talking millions of dollars for one account. Things like Colgate, Fevicol, these are brands of course which are not, we don't use the real brands, but it's huge. So I enjoyed playing the part and I was also happy that I'm specifically in season 2 because usse pehle season 1 had its mass media and marketing, the strategy was fantastic. Now they've gone even further and I think it's a huge break for me to be part of this show. So I'm very grateful to MX Player and the creators of it.
And what about the senior actors? When you worked with Anil Kapoor sir and Nita Raj, were you scared that thoda sa
I was
sir
intimidated. I was intimidated, but irrespective, I was reading an article yesterday only. The creative process doesn't have any age limit. You can at 80 also you could be as creative as you are in your 20s. So that way, I believe everybody is the same inherently. Sometimes people are more experienced than you. That's what makes them senior, and that's what makes them something to look up to. So, but even it was great to watch how Anilji would perform, how he would get into it, and you give it your best for the team, because everybody puts in so much work. Even for an interview right now, you travel from so far, you have your questions written down. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and I think that needs to be respected on a daily basis.
You mentioned you worked in a ad agency. So when you watched the first season, when you read that it's so superb, fantastic, when you watched it, what was your reaction?
I haven't worked in an ad agency. I wanted to get into this thing. So I guess field trip ke liye we must have gone to an ad agency. But when I watched it, and even while shooting it, it felt very authentic. They had made one nice studio, which was like there was a boat over there was a pool table. Because creativity ke liye you need to sometimes, what they say, think out of the box. In order to think out of the box, you need to do something different for a little while and then come back to the office. You need to go for a cycle, go for a walk, step out and come back, and that's when the ideas and the things start coming along. So they had made a really nice environment over there also, which I think in some camera angles you can see on the top there were certain quotes written by David Ogilvy and other head honchos, founders of the advertising industry. So that was good too, because you're reminded of it. You're there and take ke beecho beech, you're like, you read that and it just soaks into you. So you live the part.
See, now India is, in comparison to competing with international markets in terms of ads and everything. But when we go back and look to those Doordarshan and ZTV days, those ads were quite funny and something. So just share us some ads which you remember and you felt like this was like, how can somebody make such ads like that?
I remember the Roshni Ka Bajaj Light.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember Nirma, of course. Later on, I remember Hamara Bajaj. I remember later Kerala, God's Own Country also as a campaign.
These are the good ones.
Sari Ka Sari, Parag Sari.
Okay, that's one.
Yeah, man. Most recently, MDH.
Oh God, yeah, seriously.
Those things, jingles. Then Britannia came up with ting, 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 ting.
Yeah.
And those kind of things, which so much, as you know, so much research goes into trying to understand the brain and how the mind works.
Correct.
So, yeah, those are different timelines.
Especially we are in a country where you have two Indias, separate parts. It's India and Bharat. You go to the regional reach is different, the metro reach is different.
Yes. Yeah.
And then connecting with such ads.
Yes.
So 2011 was a very important year. Two big films you had. No One Killed Jessica and Shaitaan.
Yes.
People started recognizing you as an actor. So how was the struggle before that and even after that?
Thanks for asking. I've never struggled. I'm born and raised in Bombay. Some of my friends who have come from outside to Bombay to this thing, yes, they're far more driven, I feel. But I feel a struggle is when you have to worry about rent, a roof over your head. So fortunately, because Mumbai is my home, it's comfortable there. The struggle, I guess, would be to just keep busy. And I do a lot of stage. I'm a stage artist and a performer as well. Every year I do at least
You're doing something
yes.
now.
Yeah, in 2 weeks we're going to Delhi for A Few Good Men, which is by Adhyam. So it's really nice because there's ads up of MX Player and there's ads up of Adhyam as well. So yeah, so that
film selection wise, my struggle was pointers on film selection, getting a right film and big film, getting noticeable film.
See, that is not really in my control. When NH10 came about, I was so grateful for it. Because I idea it would be so big, and Anushka Sharma working with the very talented, and she's a real entrepreneur apart from being a great artist. So I've had small breaks all throughout, and I consider this also a break in my journey. I've never had that, and I don't really believe in that one thing that can take you so high that there's a threat of falling also. So, and I'm not in a hurry. Mr. Amitabh Bachchan is in his mid 70s now, almost 80s, and he will keep working.
Which was that one show or a film where you witnessed that entire that fan moment things, people coming to you and like, sir, loved your work and this and that. And at one time, I'm like, okay, this is my day.
Yeah, I think NH10 when there were a few things. One, this is a fresh one.
Okay.
Because I'm getting photos from around everywhere, friends who we've not connected in so long thanks to the ad campaign. Thinkistan, they know of it. But I remember I was on the red carpet for something for NH10, and they called me. It was CNBC, I think. They said the lady in the introduction. She said, "The man of the hour," and I thought, wow. I said, wow, yeah, what an intro, and thank you for that. So yeah, that felt nice.
That was the time. So as a kid, were you a movie buff?
No, sir.
Never?
No.
So you're not into movies? You don't?
No, not like. I mean, if you hear Alia Bhatt's interview, she's like, from a child I knew I would get into it. For me, I still don't really have a goal, so to speak. I know what I want to do today and tomorrow.
But actors whom you admired or something, you watched their films?
Yes, I used to watch a lot of stuff. And also, most of the Hindi cinema I got introduced to later because my parents wouldn't watch so much. I'm half South Indian, half Anglo-Indian. So most of the content or the stories we'd watch were English. But by the time I was in college, I was aware of what was happening, but as I would actively go. Then I started watching a lot more.
So you used to go to South Bombay to watch all those English movies.
Yeah, Robin Hood, Mrs. Doubtfire and all of that.
Sterling and
yeah. But it was a one-day trip because we were in 4 bungalows then. So we'd have to, it was a whole day in the theatre.
Yeah, that was a time, man.
Awesome time.
So what's your take on this entirely thing which is going on, the sexual content and
good question.
Recently there were so many these things they were protesting against the religious comments and religious sentiments on some other channels, the OTT platforms.
Right.
So what are your views on that?
I didn't follow the drama that's happened because of the religious comments. After this channel, I'll find out. I also don't own a smartphone. This is the phone I use.
Oh.
So because I can't, 5 years no smartphone.
So you are a detox thing.
This is how I live. Human beings are same but different, and we learn from each other, right? And just because people are of a certain belief system, it's the individual's thinking and being that makes people different, right? You could be from the same geography, you could be two people from the same mother, but they're so different people, right? So you zoom out, differences though will be more. As far as sexual content goes, I think it's just the independence of it, which is why maybe there's a tad more
over celebrations.
Yeah, maybe. But I feel there's nothing wrong in people who are making stories that commit to that or choose to not go that way. Okay. That's totally fine. Whereas I don't think anybody makes things to deliberately hurt another person's sentiments. I think that is the comprehension that a person has as a receiver of the thing. It's like you're walking by, you hear somebody's argument. If the two of you are saying something, I hear just that line. I don't know ki shuruaat kya hai, I don't know what this thing, but I'm judging just that. And obviously that will make me jump to conclusions. When you don't have the facts, I don't think you should let your emotions decide what's right and wrong.
Well said. So what's happening next?
MX Player is awesome. You need to download that. It's for free. I think Snapchat will show some ads. I got Voot. I'm collaborating with Voot, collaborating with Amazon Prime for 4 More Shots season 2. So that's also really good. Those are good stories. I enjoy the time right now. Film-wise, there's a little bit of this and that, too soon to talk about. But I'm waiting to see what kind of, maybe in a couple of years, what kind of evolution will happen in our films. How we decide to tell a story in 90 minutes or 120 minutes. There will be a change, big time. And there'll also be a change with the technology.
Of course. We have a segment where we need to know your favorite retro songs.
Okay.
So, अगर 70s, 80s and 90s के फिल्मों की बात करेंगे, तो retro cool favorite songs कौन से आपके?
अजीब दास्तां है ये.
Oh.
Yeah, I really like that one. And largely that one.
Something from 90s.
90s.
The romantic era, Khans and everyone. Bachchan or Anil Kapoor, you worked with Anil.
Yeah.
So you had to give one Kapoor.
Yeah,
Anil
Kapoor. Can I just tell you a story quickly? We were reading for 24 and all of us were there and for some reason 1 2 ka 4 4 2 ka 1 was playing in my head and I'm like, "Arey, ye dimag mein kyun baj raha hai?" And Anil sir was right there. It was really funny at the time, but I was about to hum it. You know how you sometimes just hum this thing, but he was there. Going back, not 90s, but Hum Kaale Hain To Kya Hua Dilwale Hain used to be Mahmood Saab ke, that used to always, as a kid I always knew that song, and Antakshari ke time pe I would just wait for her to come.
So her.
Hum Kaale Hain To Kya Hua Dilwale Hain.
Kya baat hai. Hum tere chahne wale hain. Thank you so much. We got something for you. Just a small from your friend.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much. Can I pull it up?
Yeah.
What a present also.
Just a small.
Thank you. This is very sweet of you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely.
Dream big, achieve big. Gemco Sydney. Any course, any uni. www.gemcoaustralia.com